Episode 205.
Summer Chang's wind calm smoke mist was a long-range attack, so she didn't need to close in. From a distance, she charged up a laser cannon and fired. The beam struck the Flame Witch, passing almost completely through her body, with astonishing force.
But in its super armor state, it just shrugged off the damage.
The Flame Witch just kept doing her thing.
Now she was posing again, unleashing another big move. Steam Button Evasion panicked. His poison needle was still on cooldown.
Before he could finish speaking, Yeshio's Lord Grim was already on the move. A circle swing struck the Flame Witch, hurling her away, and the skill was already cancelled mid-action.
Grab skills ignore this kind of standard super armor state. On paper, interrupting a skill this way seems simple, but for an average player, 9 out of 10 couldn't pull it off. The 10th one who did. Pure luck. Abuasa's skill doesn't come at you slowly, giving you time to see it rush over, and then use a grab or grapple skill. Interrupting the Fire Witch's incantation was a matter of split seconds. Skills like Fireball and Fire Chain are all cast time spells, but the Fire Witch's chanting is so fast, the cast bar flashes, and it's done, practically indistinguishable from an instant cast. Even for a major skill like Meteor Shower. If Steamed Bun Invasion had taken even one step forward earlier, after the Poison Needle, there simply wouldn't have been time to complete the cast. 1 second. The window is just 1 second, sometimes even less. To interrupt in that fleeting moment requires sharp judgment, lightning fast reflexes, and pinpoint micro-control. Back in Frost Forest, when fighting Frostshan, Blue River also possessed a skill similar to Circle Swing, a grab type skill called Wave Slash that could break through a boss's super armor.
But why didn't he use it?
Because he simply wasn't confident enough.
What Yeshio could pull off wasn't something the average player could just copy and paste. Even Tangru, with her lightning, fast hands, lacked the experience and judgment to make it work. Even if you try to interrupt with a circle swing, your timing could be off. Too early. And the boss skill hasn't started its recovery animation yet, leaving your circle swing on cooldown. Too late, and the attack has already landed. No need to even mention that.
The skill that got interrupted was your Circle Swing. Lord Grim is an unspecialized character. Besides Circle Swing, skills like Backdrop and Wave Wheel Slasher are all grapples that can break super armor. For him to interrupt the Flame Witch's ultimate in turns was no challenge at all. Having Steamed Bun Invasion use Poison Needle was just a way to let the newbies get some practice. Against a super challenge boss like this, what you're really training is the skill of interrupting abilities.
Interrupt,
Baozi Invasion's voice kept coming through the headset. The guy was always fully immersed when gaming, often providing sound effects for punches and kicks that didn't have any, like in those old Hong Kong martial arts movies where every blow came with a sharp whoosh of wind. His loud, distracting shouts often threw opponents off their game in the arena. But, in all honesty, Steamed Bun's shouting had no strategic intent. It was just like now, fighting this boss. The boss definitely wouldn't be fazed by it either, but he kept shouting anyway. To interrupt the Flame Witch's ultimate, Yishu could have easily done it himself with Lord Grim's versatile skills. But he was deliberately giving Tangru and Steamed Bun Invasion a chance to practice. He was deliberately giving them both a chance to shine. It was just a boss fight. After all, no need to rush. Given their lack of experience, a 4-player boss battle was bound to be a long, drawn-out affair.
It's impossible to be flawless. Look out! Dodge!
Suddenly, Yishu shouted. Tangru, who was responsible for interrupting Meteor Shower this time, had reacted a fraction too slow. Yishu noticed, but it was too late to salvage the situation. He immediately yelled a warning to the others. So Mucheng's Wind Dancer was already outside the skill's area of effect, perfectly safe. 11 Labs of Voice.Audio 40 Yushi's Lord Grim used a shadow clone technique, leaving a decoy behind while his true self instantly escaped. That left Tangru and Steamed Bun Invasion in a sorry state. Both of them were melee classes. They closed in to surround the fire witch. But this one mistake triggered a magical barrier that instantly crystallized around them. The air above the circle boiled, turning the sky itself into a searing, burning canopy. Fireballs of all sizes, trailing blazing tails, plummeted down. Tang Ru and Steamed Bun Invasion hurriedly made their characters flee, but a complete escape was no longer possible. Meteors filled the sky. They fell like meteors, instantly turning the sky and earth into a sea of fire. When the two of them burst out of the area, they were both left with just a sliver of health. Their faces turned ashen, and they retreated to the side to take potions and recover. Fortunately, a wide area spell like Meteor Shower couldn't shift its impact zone to follow the caster's movement. Otherwise, if the Flame Witch had managed to keep either of them within her spell's area of effect for just a moment longer, that player would already be back in Kangji City, waiting to respawn. My fault, Chen Ru said. She wasn't being stubborn or refusing to acknowledge her mistake. She just always had an urgent desire to correct it and improve immediately. Timing is key. Ye Xiu had nothing more to add. He'd already instructed them on when to strike. From here on out, it was up to each individual's own timing, a matter of pure reaction and judgment, something no one else could help with. The successfully cast Meteor Shower truly set the blazing forest ablaze, turning it into a sea of flame. After shrieking with laughter, the Flame Witch brandished her staff once more and charged toward the group.
Don't take it to heart.
Ye Xiu led the others in continuing their assault. He didn't just let Tang Ru and Steamed Bun Invasion practice without any oversight. Right now, both of their health bars weren't full. Failing to interrupt one more skill could mean instant death. In moments like these, Ye Xiu would take over the interruption task. With his masterful control, he'd pull it off flawlessly every time. This time, he used Wave Slash. Translation failed. At this moment, Ye Xiu's Lord Grim used a skill from the Ashura class. As the sword tip lifted the Flame Witch, it formed a magical barrier, sealing her within. Then, a rift wave erupted, spinning and slashing around the Flame Witch as its axis. If there were other targets nearby, the spinning rift wave would damage them too. Once the spinning attack ended, the wave would explode, blasting the target away. Just like the Fire Witch at this moment had already been blasted to the ground, the battle raged on. In such a prolonged and intense fight, even a top-tier pro like Ye Xiu couldn't avoid the occasional mishap. Lord Grim had taken some damage, whether by accident or design. The only one completely unscathed was Windward Formation, who had been attacking from range the entire time. This was a battle measured in hours, not minutes. And with every passing second, the clock was ticking down. None of the players in Server 10 knew. Right then, in the blazing forest, a high-stakes, high-difficulty battle was raging. 4 characters were attempting to hunt down the field boss, the Flame Witch, a full 6 levels above them. This was something completely beyond the players' awareness. All the major guilds were still busy running dungeons appropriate for their
该
levels.
音频由
The
AI
wild
生成。
bosses they were concerned with were still just Frost Forest, Burial Grounds, Glazed Lands, and one Line Gorge. The matter of Blazing Forest was also about to be put on the agenda. The frontline characters were now all past level 32. Once they hit 33, the hunt for the Flame Witch in Blazing Forest would begin. That's how we got through Line Canyon and the Glazed Lands. Time ticked by minute. 1:30, 2 o'clock, 2:30.
The Glazed Lands run should be finished by now.
Over at Blue Brook Guild, Lan River and his crew had already run the dungeon 3 times. Surely Lord Grim's team over there wouldn't be taking this long. 2.5 hours with no news of a record being broken. It seems even Lord Grim is at a loss when it comes to the Crystal Lands record. It was only the first day, so Lan River didn't dare be too optimistic. He just let out a sigh of relief, not quite ready to smile.
Let's head to the Glazed Lands.
Lan, he said. They had just finished the One Line Canyon dungeon, and were on their way to their next battlefield when a sudden system announcement flashed. Players Lord Grim, Windward Formation, Soft Mist, and Steamed Bun Invasion have achieved the first clear of the Flame Witch Kashu. This system message, lost in the chaotic flood of world chat filled with the naive, childish chatter of newbies, seemed utterly absurd and laughable.
该音频由AI生成。